So, thank you for joining my podcast. Hello, everyone. So, this is a continuation, really, to the discussion that we talked about in regards to why Black men didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Um, Basically, right now, we don't know who in our category is going to run. It's been thrown in the air that she's going to run again. Newsom, apparently, he's going to run. Um, I've spoken to, like I said, a few Black men, and they are not going to vote for Kamala. Um, I haven't spoken to women in regard to it because most of the women that I've actually just had conversation with are voting for Kamala Harris. And the views that they give me are mostly she's Black and she's a woman. And that's why we're voting for her. And I can understand that type of concept because that's the only reason why I voted for her. In my mind, on paper, yeah, in my mind, oh shoot, we in for it. And again, I just felt like, will she be able to make those deep decisions? Right now, we can see Trump, to me, is totally lost. And just because we have a question about Kamala, does that mean that we're all 100% for Trump? Um, I'm not going to say I agree with every single thing that he do because who does? But especially right now. I mean, to me, he was with Iran, then he wasn't with Iran. With who gave him the jet? Who wanted to give him the jet? And then it's Iran don't do this, and I mean, I just don't get it. So the Black men today, they just feel like they are not going to vote for Kamala. I'm not speaking for all. I'm speaking for the several that I pretty much spoke for. And in the past, when the election came, like I said, you couldn't tell me in a million years that, certain people that I thought was going to vote for her did not vote for her. So, right now, I don't even think Trump is actually going to make it throughout his whole 4 years. Do I think, what is it, Doge? Should Doge have jumped in and did everything that they did? Of course not. But we have to have somebody to stand up to these people. I mean, they're dragging senators on the floor. I mean that is just ridiculous. In Congress, there has to be somebody that has to stop some of these things from happening. And I haven't seen it right now. My screen looks a little dark. I have not seen it right now. I think that Hakeem, he's just, and I don't see anything happening. I'm telling you, I don't see anything happening. I think that even what's going on today is just totally ridiculous with the protests and how they're handling the protests. And what if Kamala Harris was president? Would there be protests? Wouldn't there be protests? Would there be deportations? Technically, I'm not going to say you come outside and you see millions of them. They're driving Benzes, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But when you're driving a Benz and ICE pull you over, expect to go with them. Expect to go with them. Um, you talk about a whole different type of government. You're talking about a whole different type of government. Um, if there was a change in government, most Black men that I've spoke to, they don't even want, they don't even want an inkling of him, even though the woman, being the president. And I'm still a little lost, but I don't know if it's because they feel that she can't run the country. What I got from them is that she's talking about stuff that's nonsense. And I'm not gonna lie, I felt the same way. She get up there, she starts doing some of these ghetto things and like do that at home in the backyard. I don't even know if I want her to do it at home in the backyard. I want her to be straightforward and focused on the country and what we need. Everybody is different. And from what I've seen from Kamala, I probably won't vote for her. I'm almost leaning towards Newsom. You guys let me know who would you vote for? So far, we only know who those two contenders are, and they may be the ones that run up against Trump. Do Black men agree with the pardons that Trump is doing? Yeah, they do. And like I said in the other podcast, episode one, I think that, like I said, a lot of that kind of played a role in her being a prosecutor, her being a prosecutor, and she's looking at young black men like, do it, and I'm gonna get you. I think a lot of that played a role in some way, somehow, how black men think. Because there was a person that I spoke to. He was actually Hispanic, and I was in Connecticut at that time, and I think he had just got out, and he was adamant. And I told you, if I'm around the Democrats, I'm telling you, I'm Democrat. I'm going to hear what they got to say. If I'm around Republicans, I'm going to be Republican. I got to hear what they have to say. I want you guys to start tuning into my podcast. My studio is empty. I'm telling you right now. If you guys look at some of my other videos on my Sapphire Physician Coding, I had a little tiny studio. I'm going to New York tomorrow. We're bringing this stuff back. But I want you guys to stick with the podcast because we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. But for right now, I interviewed a few people and a couple of people that were incarcerated, and they were adamant. Nobody's going to vote for her. Not that, I mean, you're a felon, you can't vote for her anyway, vote anyway, but it just was no support for Kamala at all. And not even for a couple of guys I spoke to that were upstate for years. They're like, no. And the only thing I can think of was that is because she was a prosecutor. Maybe not. But to me, I didn't like all of this stuff she was talking about as far as what she's going to do when she's president. We don't need any handouts. We need you to show us how to get this the same way you did. I don't need the projects. I don't need Section 8. I don't need vouchers. I don't need tax money. I need you to show me right from wrong. Okay, show me how you're going to run this country. Show me what you're going to do with Iran. Look at Iran. They're out of control. I mean, if we have to be pushed to go over there and fight with Israel, it'll be ridiculous. There our guys go out again. So, that's the scenario with most of the black men. When I go out, I am going to interview a couple of more people. I have one particular person that he has so much to say. He has a lot to say in regards to, he doesn't like Biden. He hates Biden. He did vote for Biden, but he don't like Biden. Okay. Did you vote for Kamala Harris? He doesn't like Kamala Harris, but he voted for her. And he gave me a little bit of a mixed signal on it because his brother is a Republican and he voted for Trump. They both own a liquor store and a couple of other stores. And I think they're a couple of months apart, he told me. And they're most brother and sister night and day, but they still close together. But my sisters are like 9 and 10 months apart too. They're night and day. Trust me. One of my sister has the biggest heart in the world, and the other one is a monster. What? Yeah. I think that's probably the same situation with them. And he just, when he mentioned the brother, he was livid. I mean, this man was turning red. I told him why he voting for Trump, when he voting for Trump for, and I said, that's mostly the case. Families kind of divide depending on who they're voting for. I am a liberal, so don't ask me who I'm voting for. Okay. Do I agree with some of the things that Trump is doing? No. Do I think at the highest of his height, he's probably going nuts? Yeah. Now, don't tell me not back in the days, everybody used to watch The Apprentice. I love that show. You could not tell me that Trump was the person then that he is now. I mean, I saw a man who knew how to do business, knew how to make money. To me, yeah, he's probably running the country like a business and not as a president. I know everybody's saying that's the way he's pretty much running it. But there's so much going on since Trump presidency has began. It almost looks like everything is out of control. I mean, Congress is, I mean, the dude is right behind. I don't know if that's real or not. You guys tell me if that's real or not. When the guy was sitting behind the president at the parade and he did I myself was like, what is that? Is it real? Because you guys know you Twitter, social media, they put stuff on there. I can't tell what's real and what's not real. I'm telling you right now. But that right there was a little bit crazy. And it just seems like the Republican Congress is not the Republican Congress from years ago. Uh, these people they're a whole different type of breed than what used to be years ago. There used to be compromising. You guys come to something, not we're gonna bang you over the head and you're gonna do what I say and that's it, or we're gonna shoot and kill you. I mean, what in the world? That can't go down. So I do think that there needs to be several changes in Congress. It needs to be a couple of changes in Congress. And I know I'm not the only one who think that, but as a Black person and me speaking to a lot of young Black men as well, even right now, um, they're not going to vote for Kamala. Now I'm not up north, I'm in the South. And now that I'm actually here, I'm going to start interviewing more men because I'm gonna try to build up my podcast. So look more like a studio in here at some point. So I'm probably going to just use this whole little room right here for the studio, or I have another room in there that I can use, but I don't know. It's not hardly no light in there, but the conversations that we are going to have, like I said, would be we're going to talk about politics. We're going to talk about Puffy. We're going to talk about some artists. We're going to talk about rappers. Let's talk about what is going on in the world. I mean, when this presidency came around, and eventually Biden was it himself. New things have to happen. New things have to happen. I don't know if there's an issue with the Senate and the House just can't get together. It's one of those, you do what I say and that's it. And it's like, what is the Supreme Court for? Even though, Black men and most Black men or several Black men, I don't know what the statistic is or was on it, because some Black men did vote for her, okay? And even with the ballots being thrown out, with the ballots being not counted, maybe 4 or 5,000 or something, she still would have lost. Does Elon have a hand in that? Do you think Elon actually had a hand in getting people to vote for Trump? I think so. I really do. I think Elon really had a hand in it. And if you ask me, and I'm going to agree with Elon right now. Elon Musk used to be my idol. I'm sorry. You guys may agree or may disagree, but that's going to be one of my chats for sure. And we're going to talk about Elon Musk. I'm telling you right now, I think Elon Musk is a genius. When you're working with demons, you start acting like demons. And he started working with a couple of demons, and he kind of changed his motive. Did he almost lose everything? Probably not everything, but he did go and sure lost a lot. Okay. And I know that most Black men are on the side of Elon. They're on the side of Trump. I also asked about, what do you think about Snoop? And, when they did the performing for this guy. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. Back then, I was livid. I was like, "What? You might as well put white paint on and go jump around in XYZ." But these people are doing it for money, and some of these people actually admire the fact that his title is president, and it's kind of okay. The presidency is only going to last 3.5 more months, and we still have to make a change. The Democrats have to find somebody now that's going to run against Trump. And they're like, the Democrats are like all over the place. So whether they performed in front of Trump or Nelly did a dance for Trump, you know, I'm totally past that right now. I'm not even mad at what they did. I would never do it. No, I'm not even mad at that. What would probably trigger me off more would be the fact that she's going to dances and shows and all this kind of silly stuff, and they got it on Twitter, when she should be out there on that podium talking to people and getting people together. Because even though I probably won't vote for her, she still needed backup. And to me, women are just sensitive like that. I'm a woman. I'm still sensitive like that. I probably get up there and cry as soon as they tell me they're coming in. I don't know what you want me to do. Do we got enough of machines? What do you want me to do? That's not my pet peeve. But to me, she is a prosecutor. Um, that's not going to get it. The only reason that they were like, it was Trump was experienced, he was an experienced president. But even when he was a president before, he just doing what he wanted to do then too. And they really don't care. They're still going to vote for Trump. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I changed from just being a Democrat. This the thing that they're such a I'm not going to say Democrats are such as suckers. They're just a little bit weaker than they should be. All of the talking in front of the podium, all of the so and so, it's not going to work. Nancy is too old. She doesn't have the balls anymore. She got the balls, but she doesn't have the strength to go up against Trump anymore. And Hakeem is just, he's got to do more. He's got to do more. Talk about the Supreme Court. Talk about the justices. Get them on your side. I don't care if it's 50-60, okay? 40-60. You have to get somebody on your side to change the government in the way that they think, because us just talking about it, it just doesn't make any difference. Do I feel bad, about what's going on in the street? I do. But then I see, on the other hand, why these people voted for Trump, and this is what's happening. You see what I'm saying? So obviously, sometimes you believe something and they need something from you. You need to get that first, because I believe the people that were citizens, they voted for Trump. Most of the Latinos voted for Trump. Okay, literally, when I had no idea. I told you one of my closest friends, well, not closest friends, but coworkers or somebody I know. No, that's the end of the conversation right there. Not knowing what they're going to get into, and a lot of the men said that they didn't like when Cardi B got on the stage. I can't say her name, but I did. I like the fact that she talked about certain things that were up on the stage, and they felt like Kamala could have gotten somebody else or somebody more professional. I think Cardi B looked very professional up there. I loved what she said, and I loved what she had to hear. I think that I think Obama could have done a little bit more for her, even though he was out there. He was out there, but I think still he could have done a little bit more. But I don't think it would have still made me vote for her. But if I gave her that opportunity, I would expect him to be her right hand. Her vice president, he just didn't appear to be a vice president to me. Um, I'm agree with the men on that one. I'm tell you right now, I'm agree with the men on that one, and that's because I don't think so. Let's just hope this time around we got somebody we can vote for. Um, will she run again? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if she's gonna run again. Will these wars get out of control? They're already out of control. I mean, you got all these different countries are fighting each other, and Trump. I would think that Trump would intervene. I mean, to me, the United States is the most powerful country in the world. So I'm thinking that he has enough balls to say, "Listen, you guys, stop doing all this." But apparently, what's going on today, it's just kind of crazy. So right now, we're going to finish with this podcast, and as we get along, same thing with my YouTube channel, Sapphire Position Coding. You guys want to learn billing and coding? You guys jump over there. It took me years to get that channel off. I hope it doesn't take years for me to get this channel off. But I have to figure out how to do the streaming also on the YouTube. But right now, the podcast is fine. I'm not really into all the extra stuff. But this is my channel, Lisa Real Talk, that I want you guys to be able to have a conversation or something that you might want to talk about. we're not gonna do a lot of talking downing black men or black men this or black men that. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. Um, do they agree with the deportations? Um, this is what's ironic. Somebody else spoke to last night. He agrees with the deportations. He also agrees with the majority of what Trump is doing. So you know what I mentioned to him? What about Trump taking down or a lot of our Afro-American heritage? What about Trump taking down a lot of our ancestors' heritage and all of our, Afro-American accomplishments? And he said they'll all go back up in 3 to 5 years. And I said to him, you hear me talking about 3 to 5 years, don't you? And he said, he kind of giggled and he was like, no, but it's just, that's him and that's just something that he's doing. And at that point, I really was kind of confused. I really didn't exactly know what to actually say to him because maybe it would lead to something else. And I ain't want to hear no nonsense because that portion right there that Trump is doing is nonsense. You can't erase us. We helped build this country. Okay. In history, they don't show us, they show them. And you guys know me, I'm not on a 50-50. You see my color? You can tell. You know what I'm saying? But I don't do the 50-50 thing. Okay. We're all one. But I have a right to voice my opinion. I believe that he should not try to erase our history because we helped build this country. And a lot of them would not have made it if it would not have been for us. We supported them. We support them. I don't care if we were housemaids. I don't care if we were yard maids. I don't care if we were house whatevers. We still supported them and what they were doing, whether we took care of the kids or whatever we did back in those days. We helped to do your land. We helped wash your clothes. We watched your kids for you to do what you want to do. And now it's pretty much our turn to do what we want to do. And that's why I don't think he should be taking away Afro-American heritage. That's two. I do think that more Afro-American people should be contributing to smaller businesses, reaching out more, doing more organizations to help people. But I don't see that. I don't really see that. I just now started seeing black businesses and different things like that down here in the South. I don't really see much of that up there. I'm pretty sure it's up there, but North and South, it's two different type of people. When people say, up north, they're kind of cocky up there and they come down here a little bit lax. You're right. Hospitality down here, of course, is better than up there. I mean, nobody doesn't say that all the time, but when you come down here and you see it, it's like, you understand what I'm saying? So, do I see more of businesses that are black down here? Of course I do. I saw a black beauty supply store. I was like, oh my God, really? And the first thing I asked her is, I asked her, you own this store? And she said, yeah. Okay. I was looking for the Chinese man to own the store and all the hair, right? But in retrospect, back, I see all of the millionaires, the rappers, the Twitch rappers, the Twitch higher ups. And I love the fact that Ki, however you say his name is, he did the university and he helped other people. I think that everybody should do that. If you have something to give back, you should help. And just like I told the black men, if you feel like something is missing from Kamala or something she should have added in her speech or something she should have said, maybe you guys should have voiced your opinion. Maybe you should have rallied on that. Maybe you should have rallied on that. My next question today probably will be, if Kamala was president, how would you feel about that? Do they think that, they just lost out and they're not going to vote anymore or not? You guys seen the episode where Trump went to the barbershop and he was talking to them? I can see right there, they always on his side. And like I said, I only thought it was because she was a prosecutor. Maybe not. I don't see much of her on Twitter anymore I see pictures of the dancing and pictures of, I don't want to see none of that crap. I don't want to see Kamala going to dinner. I don't want to see her and her husband. I don't want to look at it. Okay. Show me a picture of her standing out there on that podium saying something that's going to make somebody vote for her. Because all that ghetto stuff, I don't like all that kind of, I don't like all that kind of stuff. Maybe you don't call it ghetto, maybe you don't call it that, but we have to do double time all the time. Anything we want, we got to do double time. She can get it with a high school diploma. We need 5 degrees, and we still might not get it. That's life. That's what's going to go on in this world, unless you have your own business and you thrive with it. Do I think Afro Americans can do more for their own culture and their businesses and support? Yeah, of course, because they're going to give them $1 million loan. They're going to give us $1,000. You see, they're getting 800,000 for homes, and we're getting 300,000. Their credit score is worse than ours. See, so to me, the unity, the banding together, the standing together, each one teach one. That's why I made that Sapphire Physician Coding YouTube, so that I can teach people how to do a skill without getting a student loan. To me, that's what it's all about. Trying to better somebody. Do I feel like they disrespected Afro-American culture because they did not want to vote for Kamala Harris? No. I feel like they had a right to voice their opinion on why they did not vote for Kamala Harris. But I do feel like it should be known why they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I think they should have done like a talk show, a TV show or something, why they didn't vote for Kamala Harris. And they should still do something on why in the heck did the Mexicans and Latinos vote for Trump? Why did you do that when you already knew that he was making a wall, he was deporting, you already knew that he doesn't tell the truth. They believed that he was going to be with them at 100%. Did they believe that he was going to make you a citizen? After all these things that he says, and you have somebody who lies, and then it's okay for them to lie because nobody is checking him. He can do anything he want to do. Anything he want to do. The only person who can stop Trump is Congress. Nobody else. Hakeem was his Malcolm X or whatever it is he's charged to be. Forget about it. No, I'm not a fan of him because he does nothing. He does nothing. When you get up there at a podium and you start talking, it's not going to do anything. They have to do something. They have to do something. If we don't have unity, it's not going to work. I think all the Black men that did disagree with Kamala should have spoke to Black women. They should have spoke to Black women. Maybe they would have got more of an idea of how, even if because this is how I thought, even if she became president, if we could vote her in, it won't be as bad as having Trump in. That's the reason why I voted for her. Not because I thought she was going to be a superwoman president. I didn't. In me, I only felt like she's going to give us 60%. But if I had voted for Trump, I would have aided and abetted in what he's doing now. What he's doing now. Will we survive these 3.5 years, or will we not? As this podcast grows, I'm going to grow with it, and we'll see what happens. Your next episode, which is going to be also in this playlist, because I've got a couple of more interviews to do with the Black men. And then this playlist will have 3 playlists in it. And that's what we talked about in this playlist. Pretty much why did Black men not vote for Kamala Harris? And, in my closing, I don't think they're going to vote for her again. And that's not the sole reason why she lost. Other people didn't vote for her. Like I told you, Mexicans, Latinos, some foreign people, some whatever, Black people, they didn't vote, but everybody didn't vote for Kamala. I mean, she lost by landslide. But do I believe again that Elon had a hand in it? Of course he did. Give people $1 million. He gave me $1 million. I'd vote for Trump too. I wouldn't give kept who. I'm telling you, he gave me $1 million. I'd make sure I voted for him. Because my little one vote wouldn't have made no difference between millions and millions of votes. And sometimes, a lot of people say, money can't buy happiness. That's a lie. Money can buy happiness. Money can buy happiness because you don't have to be bothered with nobody. Go on, take that $1 million and buy whatever you want. I'm telling you right now. Closing. Do I disagree with the black men and why they did not vote for Kamala Harris? Nope. Nope. I actually agree with them. I actually agree with the fact that she is a prosecutor. And she don't prosecute the one end to the other. You see Trump prosecuting these people that are immigrants. She would prosecute every one of them out there. Anybody out there she would have saw with pants falling down, lock them up. He got marks on his face, lock him up. I just think that, I just think that, and I have my opinions and they have theirs. I don't agree with a lot of stuff that they were saying, but I do agree with some of the stuff. I do agree with some of the stuff. And trust me, if she's running against somebody else, I would not have voted for. I would not have voted for her. I would have voted for the other person. We all knew Biden was messed up from the beginning, but the Democrats knew that because they'd seen him before us. We only started seeing that like 2 years in. He started, okay, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? And then this thing with his son, that's kind of made him worse. All right, so we're gonna cut this podcast down. I'm gonna put this in. You guys are gonna see it probably tomorrow or the day after. We'll continue to make it. So this is just the second part of that. We do have plenty of stuff to talk about. We have the P. Diddy situation to talk about. You guys look out for that podcast that's coming on. Are we on the side of P. Diddy? I'm not telling, but are we on the side of P. Diddy? See you guys next time. Watch out for that next chat. Are we on the side of P. Diddy?